Yes, people, welcome back to Normski TV and the match reaction for Arsenal 1, Newcastle nil. Arsenal's final home game. And yes, people, Mikel does have a dream. He has a dream about winning this Premier League. And I'm sure he is trying to convince the fans, but you ain't fooling me. Let me just say that for now. For the record, you ain't fooling me. 3 years running now. We finished second because you've pretty much secured second place. Man City obviously got 2 games in hand, but because we have a superior goal difference, then yeah, second place we go again, and we finish, as I say, 15 points or so behind the champions, which are Liverpool. And fans are going to gas it up and say, "Yep, unprecedented injuries. You know, how on earth have we managed to do this with the amount of injuries, the amount of things that have gone against us this season?" This is what's the narrative. This is what's coming out of the mouths of the Mikel Arteta fans. And yeah, we're going to hear this narrative throughout the summer. And yeah, second place FC, second place Cup, you name it, that's what we've done. So it is what it is. Final home game. Arteta makes his final speech and everything. And, you know, he said to the fans, like, listen, you know, we had a dream. As Martin Luther King would say, I have a dream that all people should come together. That's not the exact quote, but you know what I'm saying. Mikel Arteta has a dream that all mutant fans will back him for next season. Yeah, because that's what it is, people. This is what it is. Um, you know, the game. Let me just start off with the game and the actual lineup. I was actually thinking that Ethan Monroe was going to make a start, but obviously not. Didn't even come onto the pitch, but we'll get into that in a bit. I thought Trossard was injured, but obviously he's made it, and he started up front as the false nine. Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, and then Declan Rice, Partey, Odegaard, and at the back, Miles Lewis Skelly, Kivior, Saliba, and Ben White. Look, Timber wasn't on the bench, so he must be carrying some sort of injury. And Rea. So that was the team. And then on the bench, we had Jack Henry Francis, Kieran Tierney, Alexander Zinchenko, Kai Havertz, who comes back to the bench for the first time since his injury in February. So he starts on the bench, and no doubt he does come on. Neto, Ricardo Calafiori, and Jorginho, Raheem Sterling, and Ethan Wanrieri. And as I said, if I was Ethan, I would be kind of like looking at, bro, maybe going somewhere else, because this man, I don't know why he's treating you the way he is. You know, bringing on man that hasn't featured from since February. You bring him on Jorginho. You bring him on. Obviously, Jorginho. That's just going to be his last time playing at the Emirates. And yeah, you bring on Calafiori. I think he came on for Saliba. I think Saliba's carrying an injury. I believe he's carrying an injury. But I say we'll get into the game. And listen, Newcastle, they were missing Isak, they were missing Joe Linton. So, you know, I thought, you know, with you know, the injuries that we had, I thought that we would probably struggle in the game. I'm not going to lie, the first half, watching the first half, Newcastle were all over us, mate. If it wasn't for Raya, you know, we could have been 2, 3, 4 goals down. The save that this guy made, but not only that, there was a good side of him, and there was also the bad side of him. You know, giving away the ball straight back to the opponent, who almost scored, which was just crazy. I couldn't believe what he was doing. And then a few minutes later, doing the same thing again. I don't know what's going on with Raya. You know what I mean? Are we going to have a similar situation with Ramsdale when Raya came? You know, Mikel Arteta turned around and said, like, you know, these two, you know, they're going to fight for the number one. They're both number ones. Now with Garcia, you know, we're looking to get him from Espanyol. If he comes in, top keeper or good keeper, should I say, will there be competition? If we are likely to get this guy, will Arteta do what he did with the Ramsdale situation? listen, we can only wait and we can only see. At the moment, he doesn't really have anybody that's testing him or pushing him whatsoever. Neto's going to be gone. Setford, too young. He'll probably end up going back and playing in the reserves. But yeah, Newcastle first half, mate. The chances that they had, Raya, making some spectacular saves, double saves, and all of that. Which I mean, I think I don't know if I think he got the man of the match. I would probably give him man of the match, even though he done a couple of stupid things. I'll definitely give him man of the match. In terms of how the back four fared, I thought Kivior played well. I thought he done well out of the back four. Ben White was getting roasted down on that right hand side or left hand side. The guy was at sometimes was having him on toast. Ben White doesn't look fit, and you could see that. I mean, the guy was getting done for pace. Anthony Gordon had him on toast, basically. You know what I mean? And yeah, we're lucky that I think in the first half they had something like 10 shots or so, and 5 of those shots were on target to our 5, and we had 2 on target. But we didn't look like we was at the races. To be honest, it looked like we had tapped out because look, we know the league has gone and second place. They didn't really look like they were fighting for second place, in my opinion. I didn't get that feeling. It just looked like they were just there and and just sort of literally just playing out the game. Do you know what I mean? And Saliba, listen, mate, Saliba, bro, after the game, I'm not gonna lie, man. When you see Saliba's face, man, I was like, bro, what is going on? This man didn't look happy at all. Didn't look happy. He didn't look happy at all. As you can see, people, that's a face. Does that look like a face that's happy to be at Arsenal? Does that look like a face? Yeah. Does that look like a face? Okay. Does it? Yeah, he didn't look too impressed. Didn't look happy at all. You saw the stadium. Yeah, it looked quite empty. And it wasn't the same atmosphere as last year, where yes, Arsenal finished 2 points drive, pushing City to the wire, but unfortunately, they fall short. But this season, we have fallen off big time. We have not played well at all season. Yes, we've got second place by the looks of it. People are going to say, yeah, we done well, getting to a semi-final, but at the end of the day, we just can't get it over the line. And when you look at the players, I think we're going to struggle next season if we don't. We need to upgrade. We need to upgrade on an awful lot of players. Players coming back from their loan spells and that. Players that are out of contract. Players that own a lot of money. We need to start looking seriously at offloading these players, because when I look at our attack, we still look toothless. Havertz came on, come on to rousing applause from the loyal fans. What did he do really, apart from fall on the floor? Same old, really. At the end of the day, I think him and I don't know Declan Rice, if that's 9 goals that he's got for the season, or that's 9 goals in all competition. I don't know if Havertz is still the highest goal scorer, even though he'd been off since the beginning of February. So you can see that we're toothless in attack, and we really need to address that absolutely big time. Yeah, as I say, second half, we were much better. Second half came out, Declan Rice getting the goal, very good goal as well. I can't remember who assisted him. Let me just see who assisted him. Let me just look at the old. Yeah, Martin Odegaard. Surprising enough, Martin Odegaard assisted him, and he took it well. First time, bang, very good goal, and we started to sort of take the tempo up a bit, but just couldn't get that second goal. And there was a couple of times, Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle really dropped off in the second half. I'm trying to say they were obviously trying to get that second place. But now it looks like they're going to be fighting. They'll get a champion. I believe they will get a Champions League place. They got their home game, and I think that will secure them. That top four position. But it is a fight behind us because there's a number of teams on 66 points. So, and Man City, who are lying in sixth at the moment, on 65 points with 2 games in hand. So that's going to be an interesting battle. Arsenal are pretty much sewing up the second place trophy, unless there's a massive goal swing or we lose at Southampton, which I doubt very much. I think we'll go there and beat them. Yeah, we have second place. As simple as that. We've got second place. So yeah, it's just one of those games that you just think, right, Arsenal have just come there, pretty reserved that the season is completely done, and they just kind of stepping in first half, kind of played within themselves, and yeah, it's another season of failure, and we're here yet again talking about the same old things, and Mikel Arteta addressing the fans that were left, and saying that we are dreaming, this time, if we had dreamt and believed that we could go and win trophies, then we wouldn't be here today. But we have failed, and that's what it is, people. Yeah, it's just one of those games where, as you can see from my demeanor, it's just what it is. It is what it is. We just go again next year. I'm hoping that Berta can come in and do something, and really make some changes, really start to swing the old axe. And that, as I say, even though people like myself are calling for Arteta to go, we know it ain't going to happen. You know, he's done his bit to convince his loyal fans that he's here to stay, and hopefully, they will win trophies and bring home trophies. You know what I mean? Let's dream big and all of that stuff. All the buzzwords you can think of. This is what this man is going to be doing, and all the loyal fans, all the loyal journalists, all the top content creators that lap after this guy. He's got them in the palm of his hand like that, man. This guy can do no wrong. You know what I mean? And it's just like give him another couple of years, give him the money, give him his players. Well, he has his players. Unfortunately, these players have failed, and a lot of money spent, 750 mil, and this is where we are, 15 points or so off of Liverpool, second place yet again. Crystal Palace, well done to Crystal Palace, well done to Eze. You know what I mean? What a season Palace about. They've never won a trophy in their history. And today, them mans are celebrating on. You can imagine when Croydon and they do that bus parade, it's going to be lockdown over there, man. I'm really pleased for them. Absolutely pleased for them. Something that we can't do. You know what I mean? Something that we cannot do. We could not win the FA Cup against a 10-man Man United. It is what it is. But listen, the FA Cup is below a lot of these people. We've won it enough times, so we don't really. We want to go for the major trophies like the Champions League and the Premier League. But at the end of the day, guys, we have to get into into that winning mentality, and that winning mentality is, going and winning a trophy, regardless of whether it's an FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Let's try and do that. Yeah, let's get the ball rolling. Yeah, let's get into the winning mentality of winning a trophy. At the moment, the last time we won a trophy was 2019, 6 years ago, guys, and counting. Look how many other, if I was to read out a stat which was sent to me, the amount of teams that have won X amount of trophies since Arsenal or Mikel Arteta has won an FA Cup, it's embarrassing, guys. It's embarrassing. And so here we are, second place FC. Season is almost complete. Our last game of the season, we go away to Southampton. We pretty much then get our 73 points or whatever, and we see what happens in the summer. But look, this guy behind me, will he be here next season? Will he be here? That's the question. Is that a face of a person that looks happy? You tell me, put it in the comments. Does this guy want to be here? Does he want to go through all of this? He's tried, he's done his bit for us, but he must be thinking, look at them Real. Oh yeah, Real Madrid didn't win anything this season, but there's more chance of him winning silverware with Real Madrid than him with Arsenal at the moment. So we'll see what happens, guys. Listen, it is what it is. That is my match reaction. You know, as I say, it's another season without another trophy, guys. And as you can see, Mikel has a dream. Let's see if that dream comes true. People, please hit the like button, subscribe and share if you're new, and I'll see you on the last match reaction. And we'll see what happens then. Take care. God bless.